Jesus, Tab Nation. So today we're reviewing the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You hear me? There, I said it. By the way, big ups and a lot of love to my last video I did on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I did an unboxing and that video is doing super well. It's my for the first time actually reviewing tech and stuff like that. I appreciate the love you guys giving me. Keep the love up. You know what I'm saying? Today for sure I have the full review today. As you can see in the thumbnail, as you can see in the title, I have a lot to uncover with this iPhone. No jokes. I've been using this iPhone for at least a week and a half now, almost 2 weeks. And there's a lot of stuff I love about it more than a lot of stuff that I don't really like about it. As you can see the Samsung right here. I have the Samsung right here because I have some comparison I want to make that, bro, by the end of the day, Tab Nation, objectively there's some stuff that's inside here I wish it would be inside here, that this is objectively, in terms of like most things you just want to get done, is a bit better than the iPhone. And also I have a comparison video coming up soon, talking about how Samsung basically destroy this specific Samsung S24 destroy the iPhone 16 Pro Max or any Pro Maxes. We're going to do a comparison, a quick comparison versus the 16 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max. I'm gonna give it like a difference. It's not too much of a difference, but if you're a person who knows tech, you love technology and stuff like that, you will see differences, you will notice differences. But if you're an average user, not much difference. You see what I'm saying? So you dig what I'm saying. So this here, where we have 6.9-inch display, so you have a much bigger display this year on the iPhone 16 Pro Max versus last year 15 Pro Max, which was 6.7-inch. So that's like a 2 inches bump. You got the Super Retina XDR display, and you got the ProMotion technology with always display on. And the greatest thing about this iPhone 2, it goes all the way down to 1 nit, meaning like you get a much dimmer screen. So the screen go from, I think it's, I don't remember the brightness, but the brightness is like almost 1600 nits or something like that. And then whenever it goes like super low, it can go all the way down to 1 nit, where it saves you a lot of battery, and that's very great for always on display performance. That's for the display. The chip this year gets an upgrade, and I personally see a lot of difference in the chipset. Like, alright, I don't want to sound too biased. I don't want to sound biased at all. It's not like I see a lot, bro. I'm a tech head. Okay, so what I see versus what a average person would see is, you know what I mean, it's debatable. But I've seen some improvements in the chip. But this year we have the A18 Pro chip. It's a 6-core CPU, 6-core GPU, and a 16-core neutral engine. And I think it's on 3 nanometer or 3 nanometer, 3. Jesus, versus the A17 chip Pro, which is in the iPhone 15 Pro Max, also a 6-core CPU and a 6-core GPU, 16-core neutral engine. So you're literally getting just a chip bump in the new Pro Max this year. As I said before, it's a dope phone, uppity phone. We're gonna get there. And as I said, I have a lot of stuff to show you what I do not like about the iPhones, and I'm talking iPhones in general, comparing with Android or Samsung specifically, because I've been using the Samsung S24 for the past year, and I'm telling the Tab Nation, chum, and I'm going to curse. I'm going to save that for the middle or the last of the video. Jesus. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's keep it pushing. Anyways, but yeah, great phone overall. I'm not gonna lie, great phone overall. Okay, so the camera, we can talk a lot about the camera this year. I've seen some improvement in the camera, a lot of improvement. Apple call it the Fusion camera. So we're gonna compare it with the 15 Pro Max camera. So basically, we're housing on the 16 Pro Max a 48 megapixel, Jesus, a 48 megapixel Fusion camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, that's their most brand new camera that they have now. And we got a 5 a 5 telephoto, something like that camera. Some shit like that, man. I'm not the best tech head. I just know enough about tech to get vexed. Sure. Anyways, yes, it's a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera that's brand new on the iPhone, which takes uppity, outstanding pictures. You dig what I'm saying? And that's versus the 15 Pro Max, which is a 48 megapixel, a regular ultra wide camera, and a telephoto lens, which is the 5 times lens I was telling the guys about in the last video. It can shoot up to 5 times or zoom up to 5 times, which is basically an optical zoom. So not much separating the 15 Pro Max and the 16 Pro Max, but I am going to delve into some stuff that I like about the 16 Pro Max very soon. We just want to get overall, let you guys know about the newest things that complements the 16 Pro Max. All right, but we're talking about the new camera. Where's that? The action button, or the camera, not the action button, my dumbass. The camera, let me get this goddamn way. The camera button, or they call it the camera control button, still is a button, Apple. I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed feelings with this button. I have a lot of mixed feelings with this button. It's great. It's a great, put it this way, it is a great addition to the phone, but not in the best way Apple trying to present it. Like, if Apple had just released this button where you can literally, what you can say, you can literally, you know, like when I have a DSLR, for example, I have my camera, for example. So you have this right here. So this is what Apple basically trying to mimic. This button right here on the camera. So this basically lock focus on your subject and make sure that your subject is in frame, so you can go and snap it and take a picture. However, Apple claims that that's coming to the iPhone very soon, and this is one of the main reasons they added it, because most of the features that Apple added to that camera control button, I am not gonna lie, me kind of see it redundant when you can actually go in your goddamn phone, right? I'm gonna open it, go to your camera, and then you can literally toggle the different settings right here, which is super fast. This is a bit too finicky for me sometimes. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, man. Not being biased nation, I love the camera control button. Me nah lie. The thing uppity. It's just that Apple can just do so much fucking better, man. It's like, but then again, you have to understand. Whenever a company introduce something, it's a bit early. You remember when them just dropped cinematic mode and it took its time? People say, yo, why didn't they put it in 4K or whatever? I hear 2 years passed. Now you can do cinematic mode in 4K. You dig what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that Apple has a lot of promising on, including Apple AI, which is simply, or Apple Intelligence, which is simply AI. Them just basically brand them name, or they brand themselves within AI, as of every single phone company like Google and Samsung, you name them, you know. But let's go ahead. Apparently the 16 Pro Max, it can go up to 33 hours of video playback versus the 15 Pro Max, which is up to 29 hours of video playback. Both support USB-C up to 3 for up to 3. Bumbo clap. Me can't chat to the tablet. So basically they support up to 3 gigahertz with the speed, in terms of like you get a bit faster transfer when you're transferring files and stuff like that. Not many people transfer files and shit like that through them phones nowadays anyways, but at least you know now that you can literally, you have a computer that's faster than your typical computer in your hand palm. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. It's compatible with MagSafe. It has, okay, we're gonna break down the display this year. So as I said before, it has a bigger display. How is it a bigger display? It's a 6.9 inch diagonal all-screen OLED display. And OLED technology basically is, it makes darker, it makes colors a bit more poppy. It makes red look more red. It makes black look more black. It makes blue. You get where I'm going with it? Yes. And it still has the dynamic island, which I still have a little issue with it when I'm going to compare it with the Samsung. What I love about the Samsung, just give me a minute, we'll get in there. It has an HDR display. What else we can talk about? You see, it's not fucking much I can really talk about, bro. It's the same goddamn phone, but it just gotten incremental improvements that I personally, as a enthusiast, a power user, I consider myself a power user. I've seen a lot of improvements in terms of how I interact with the phone. The battery, for example, the battery itself is wonderful in terms of like maintaining heat. I think they have this new thing where they add to the battery, or they add over the battery. I think it's some type of like metal shit, where it basically just make the iPhone a bit much cooler, even in when the place is a bit like hot and the place heated a bit. It definitely cool at Tab Nation. Me feel a lot of bumbleclad difference with this shit. It's so dope. Like, it's surprising how cool the iPhones have gotten in terms of like even in hot conditions, because usually it performs very poorly whenever you have you basically could use your iPhone as like a, you know, when people they're on fireside, whenever it gets super hot. Yeah, that's how it go on. Me Jesus. Okay, so the size of this phone is 6.42. No, fuck me, I chat to you. Me Jesus. So the height is 6.42 inches, which is 163 millimeter, width 3.06 inches, which is 7.6 millimeter. And yes, I was right, up to 1600 nits of peak brightness, and then 2000 nits of brightness outdoors. So you get 2000 nits of brightness when you're outside, like you're in direct sunlight. I get 1600 nits of peak brightness overall, like if you're inside your house, your room, whatever the case may be. No, I'm not going to talk about Apple Intelligence because it hasn't released as yet. So there's nothing for me, and I'm not the most techiest person. I just love tech. I'm going to chat about shit because people can learn something from me. By the way, if you are watching this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and tell some family. Me Jesus. Splash and water and dust resistance. Rated at IP68. Very similar to last year's iPhone 15 Pro Max. As I said, it's not much to differentiate both phones, and I would not recommend that upgrade for a person who use a 15 Pro Max, honestly, because you're not seeing that much, especially if you're not a power user or an average user. If you're not excited about the camera control button, the new ultra wide camera, what is that, the slightly bigger display, if you're not really excited about stuff like that, I would say not upgrade yet. But hold on, don't just leave yet. I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of why I think you guys cannot upgrade and why you shouldn't upgrade, if you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna kind of try and meet you guys in the middle. Let's keep it going. Me Jesus. But yeah, portrait lighting effects. It's a portrait lighting effects. So video recording, you can get up to 4K Dolby Vision video recording at 24 FPS, 25 FPS, 30 FPS, up to 60 frames per second. And you have a new mode, and it's called slow motion, where you can shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second, meaning you can get slower videos, and it look a bit more cinematic, shit like that. You know what I mean? Just uppity stuff like that. Now talk about the form factor of the phone. The 16 Pro Max, I love the new titanium feel this year. It's the same titanium, but it feels a bit more brush and polish. It's so fucking, like, I love holding this phone, basically, Tab Nation. I love holding this phone. It's so comfortable in the hands. So comfortable in the hand them. Me Jesus, it feels so great. Me can't, like, you want to try it? Try. Come, feel it. Feel it? You got? Alright. I'm right? What I tell you? Really nice feeling phone. As I said, the chip is a really fast chip. And would I be recommending this chip for the average user? As I said again, no. But a power user like me, a person who shoots a lot of content, you want something that you can put in a pocket to be a bit more convenient in terms of shooting videos or shooting photos and stuff like that. Bro, it's a no-brainer. I'm not gonna lie. It's an uppity phone. It's an incremental upgrade. Apple know what them doing. Apple just want it in their ecosystem. It really doesn't matter what type of iPhones you buy. But if you buy an iPhone from Apple, regardless the type, they already have it in that iOS ecosystem. And that's how Apple really basically make their money. Now let's talk about the camera a little bit. So the camera, Tab Nation, uppity. And when I mean uppity, I've seen drastic improvements. Even though you hear me mention about the camera earlier, for me personally, in terms of just the simple details, in terms of like, cause when I take certain selfies, or I take like pictures from the mirror, I take pictures of like nature, any little thing, you can see subtle upgrades that I personally like in the pictures. And as you can see on the screen right now, you have different photographic styles. So that's how you see different styles. I think I got rose gold, I got gold, you got fucking neutral, you got standard, which is just the regular thing. So as you can see, while you're listening to my big what the fuck, Tab Nation, help me please. I don't even know what I say right now. That's why I love this tech review thing, cause I just want to be myself and just chat about some tech, bro. I ain't trying to be the techiest guy around. You see me? But it's uppity. But anyways, these ones too, it doesn't come with a physical SIM, it's eSIM. And you basically just go to your setting. I can show you. Go to your setting. You wanna go to your setting, and then you go to cellular, and then you can basically add your eSIM. You dig what I'm saying? You can add your eSIM or whatever. So yeah, so that's what it is. eSIM compatible. You can't use a physical SIM in it. What else may I miss? What else may I miss, Tab Nation? Tell me no man, Tab Nation, help me no man. Tell me what me not talk about yet. What me not talk about yet. But anyways, you can get the new 16 Pro Maxes in black titanium, white titanium, gold. I say gold titanium because that shit look gold, bro. Apple, just be honest. That's a rose gold. Not desert titanium. Desert no look like that. That's a rose gold titanium. But you know, whatever, desert titanium, and one of my favorite, and I'm not gonna lie, I might get that one in the Pro. The iPhone 16 Pro, the smaller version, 6.1 inch, I might get that in the white version, bro. The white variant, sexy as fuck. It's sexy just like the black one. You know, but I think they cover most of the stuff them though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what else to really talk about the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Not much. I just have some camera testing come. But yeah, that's the 16 Pro Max review so far. Like, you know what I mean? Not much, but it's okay for the power user, and it's not really an upgrade for the average user. Anyways, we're going to jump to the Samsung, right? And this is one of the #1 thing I love about the bumbleclad Samsung that I just do not like about this iPhone. First and foremost, Apple, why can't you simply do this? Look how simple this is. In any app I want, so I want to go on Spotify, right? And I want to play some music. Bro, come on, Apple, look at this shit. Apple. Hold on, let me play. Hold on, I'm seeing if I can find a video real quick. Watch out. Apple, why can't you do this? Be honest with me.
Sponsor.
Stop, Apple. Why can't do this, Apple? Why can't do this? Multitasking, that's something, Tab Nation, that bothers me a lot about iPhones overall. I always have to have a Samsung or an Android phone in rotation because it does so much stuff better than the iPhone. I don't want to give you guys too much because I'm going to do like a literal, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. I'm going to do a comparison versus the S24 versus the 16 Pro Max. Don't get me wrong, the 16 Pro Max is still a better phone overall. But there's a lot of stuff that the Samsung Galaxy S24 does way better than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And that's just objective, not no subjective topic or anything. It's factual, you know. But it has a frosted glass back with a shiny little Apple logo. And that's it, Tab Nation. I don't have nothing more to say. That's the 16 Pro Max review. Dope. But there's just some stuff. Samsung, anything me not catching at this video, I'm gonna watch back the video. So if this video posts, that means I'm gonna like it. If it didn't post, well, you wouldn't know because I wouldn't like it. I'm gonna make a new video tomorrow. But anyways, I'm gonna give you guys my 2 cents. And should you buy the 16 Pro Max? And this is, I'm gonna give you a couple breakdown of why I think you should and why I think you shouldn't. So listen to me keenly. I think you should buy the 16 Pro Max if you're somebody like me who is a phone enthusiast, if you love technology, and you're a power user and you just like the latest and the greatest, even though you don't technically need the latest and the greatest if you have the 15 Pro Max as a power user, but it's always great to see where technology going and the fun stuff you can do, how super fast the new chips them always are. Cause I'm not gonna lie, you definitely see some difference with the new chips them, Tab Nation. I'm not gonna lie, you see some really great difference in the improvement. The 120 hertz refresh rate display screen where shit just move fluid and fast. And you just want to live a bumble life. You have one fucking life to live. You work hard. I guarantee I know you guys work hard. I know you guys work so fucking hard for your money, right? Am I lying? And then you feel like you want to upgrade for every year. Do your shit, brother. Nobody not stop it, bro. Upgrade and live a life. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love when people just live their life. I believe in that 100%. Now, for the average user, do you need to upgrade to this shit? Hell fucking no. It's a dope uppity phone. If you have a 12 Pro Max, I'm gonna be honest with you, as an average user, you do not need to upgrade. You know, but I love tech and I want to talk about more stuff. I'm recording this video right now on the iPhone SE, believe it or not. And I'm gonna talk about the Samsung Galaxy very soon. And there's a lot of shit to come. Do you need to upgrade? If you're a power user, you want an actual camera versus an actual camera in your hand. This makes call, text and everything. Plus you can do what this do. Not exactly what it does, because it's a camera, obviously a phone. But having this in your pocket and you can do things close to this. Think about that, bro.